What's up, everyone? It's your boy Oz, Tow Trucks, Cars, and Energy Drinks, and I'm just doing a little bit of routine stuff today. This is that car from last night that I grabbed that had both wheels taken out on the other side, and I was pretty much going to wait until I got another call to drop this one off in the same area because I got two trucks, so that way I can cut down on fuel costs and be a little bit more efficient. So it makes no sense for me to run back and forth. I literally always have calls going into that area, so sometimes it's good to group them up to be more efficient. So this one's right here over at the Wendy's parking lot, and I know some of you guys are asking me how to do a wheel lift thing, you know what I mean, a video on it. So we're gonna go ahead and load this on the wheel lift. But first and foremost, you know, you always make sure you take advantage of your rollback because it takes two vehicles. How cool is that? That's the one thing that the wrecker, you know, it doesn't have the capability of. So the nice thing about the rollback is you can double your profits quite easily. So let's go ahead and roll up this Ranger, get it loaded up so we can go make a little bit of profit. So first things first is what I do is I take my little T-hooks here and you know, spin them outwards. I don't really use my wheel lift a ton, but it does get used, and it's good to work the controls on the wheel lift to kind of keep the valves from not sticking. Mine stick a little tiny bit. The up and down doesn't, but the going out definitely does. And it's actually gotten a lot better because I was working it the other day. So always work your equipment back and forth if it's not getting used on high PTO. So go ahead and pull out these arms here. This one's nice. It's usually the other one that gives me the problem. And then we'll get it lined up the best we can. Yep, it's already sticking. This one always sticks. Always, always. I don't know how many times I bashed my knee trying to get this thing up. So usually when that happens, I just take my big arm here and just start beating it out a little bit. I need to take that thing out and clean it fully. Come on, there we go. Man, it's greased good too. I don't know why. I got to take these all the way off. So I'll go ahead and take our arms out while we're at it. Okay. Now we got them out. We'll go ahead and put the wheel lift down. Extend as far out as it'll go. Tried to get as close as I could, but can only get so close, I guess. Oh man, I barely missed it. So I'll go ahead and throw our neutral, and this one might have to come out a little bit more, but we'll just roll into it. All right, now we're touching the wheel lift arms there, so we put it back in park. I always set the brake. Got my hazard lights on. Got my steering wheel locked. And go ahead and start loading this up. Take my L-arms. Go stick it in just like that. Make sure that your pins are out. Get it in as tight as you can. And lock that baby up. There we go. That's as tight as I can get that side. This one can go in way more. There we go. Plow, got that in there. Go ahead and raise that ass end up. Drop it like it's hot. Lift it like it's hot. Okay, so now that we got the ass head up, that's how I like it, with the taillights barely poking over like that. So that's my cardinal rule of thumb there. And then go ahead and lock our T-bars up. Okay, she's locked up good. All right, looks like all my pins, everything looks good. So once we do that, we can go ahead and bring the wheel lift in a little bit so we can put some chains on it. About good right there. So we'll go ahead and put the wheel straps on for now. All right, so now that we've got our finger hooks, straps, I'll show you how to strap this puppy down. So the way I do it is pretty much just use the lasso method, which is pretty much the preferred method. that I think most people use on an old school wheel lift like this. And just go ahead and loop it in through there. Throw it right over the top of the tire just like that. Make sure you got all the bends out of it, kinks, all that. Then kapowie. She's in there like swimwear. Or booty hair, whatever you're into. I heard that the other day, I thought it was funny. All right. There we go, right in our finger slots right there. And then ratchet away. Always make sure you dig into them tires. Tires are pretty resilient, so you can go pretty tight. Let's see. Make sure it's good because they will come off on you if you don't have enough bite on them. Ask me how I know that. Lost a few straps in my day. One more click. I think that's good right there. Then loop it in like a pro. There you go. Then we'll go to the other side. Always make sure you got your hazard lights on. I got a couple auxiliary lights that I use. I got to get me a tow mate or something. I usually just throw a road flare, an electronic one with a magnetic on it, and that'll be good sometimes. But I really do got to get me a tow mate. They're just so expensive. I think they're like $400 or $500 or something. I got to look into it. Problem is leaving them things behind all the time. Sometimes I forget when I was towing for someone else and I was using them things. I'd be forgetful sometimes to grab it off. At least if you lose a cheap road flare, it's not that much of a blow. So she's in there pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a chain on it also, just for extra security. But you guys get the point. I'll just grab my Big J and then just stick it in through here. So I'll show you guys real quick how I'll do it. So you just take your Big J chain, which I got one on each side of the truck. Take the knot out of it, of course. And these knots can get tight sometimes if you're not careful. Bam, bam, just like that. And we take your chain. You can just throw it in just like that. You know, get the slack out of it, and then take your Big J. Go right up underneath the axle. Be careful with the brake lines. Right there is good. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, put my light on and roll out, which is just giving me basically the white strobe light just for something a little bit extra. So I'm pulling about 10 minutes, running late, so I gotta get out of here so I can go collect the paycheck. All right, guys, we're here at the first drop point, and we gotta keep it moving. I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest, so I gotta get to going and keep it popping-lopping. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna bust these straps loose, and we're gonna get this Ranger unloaded so I can throw this Camry off the bed and get this all done so I can take some more calls so I can make some more money. I need that money. Need that Christmas fund, you know what I'm saying? Santa Claus is gonna skip my house if I don't get these tows done. So let's go ahead and get this car dropped. It does drive, but I think it overheats, so that's gonna help quite a bit. So I'm not even gonna take those arms off right now. It's a big old truck, so I'm gonna drive them right over, and then I'll take them off when I get off. And it ain't gonna, you know, get in my way and everything. If it was a car and it had clearance, I would still do the same thing. Oh no! Man, she started on me last time, so at this point I might as well just let it roll in neutral. Hazard lights killed it, so that might have been would have been the problem in the first place. So go ahead and lift these arms up a little tiny bit and get them out. There we go. That's just enough to release them right there. Pop home. Man, I should have my gloves on, because the thing about them L arms is they get disgustingly dirty and greasy. So throw my gloves on here. See, nothing ever goes smooth sometimes. Even a simple task can turn into a whole rodeo, I like to call it. So go ahead and take these out. and then we're gonna roll her all the way down that driveway, get it nooch. Actually, let's see if I can roll it into this spot. Okay. Oz is super strong and can push these cars. Okay. So I want to push it just enough so I can back right into it with the rollback and not have to mess around. So, you know, I just like pushing cars around, you know. Gotta stay in shape, gotta get it in when you can. Okay, so we'll put that back in park. Straighten this wheel out. One more rev. Okay, bam, 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 locked. Don't ever want to leave stuff laying around, even just for that second. Kind of a bad habit, because then you're going to be leaving stuff and you could forget about it and run it over or something. So, I'll leave them extended, the sleeves in that position, because that way it'll back right up, right into. And look, almost put that back up in there. Look what I just saw. Look at all that crap on the wheel lift right there from the grease. All that stuff. I don't want that stuff going in there. So problem is it sticks to the grease sometimes, and there's probably crap in the bed of that truck is why it all fell right on top of that wheel lift right there. So now that we got it cleaned up, now I'll stick it back in there, because that could have caused me a huge problem down the line. So there goes that pair of gloves. All right. Put that wheel lift back in. All right, now we got that in. Now we'll go ahead and drop this car. Let's see where I'll drop it. I'll probably set it over there in that corner. All right, so I found a good spot for this Camry here. I'm just gonna put it pretty much next to the truck that I just unloaded. That way I can just back up into that. If it hinders it or it's in the way and I can't get to that truck for some reason, or it's tight, that truck drives, I'll just jump it with my jump pack and move it where I gotta move it. But I think I'll be able to back right up to it. So I'll cross that bridge once I get there. So this thing's gonna rub like crazy. Because of the wheels, they are completely compromised. But the only thing that would concern me unloading this is scratching up that front bumper and ripping the bumper off. So you got to be super careful. So I actually do have a key for this one. So let's see if it starts, and I could just use what's left to drive it instead of just throwing it off. So let me stack some wood on that other side, because that other side sits so low. Okay. So we'll just stack like wood like that. I think I'll just be able to drive it right off without having to shake it off or anything. If you can't get your chains out through the front, you can always pull them out through the sides. But I think I'll be okay. Then I'll take my ramp here, then I'll actually stick that up underneath this tire, so that way I can sit the bed down level. They're plastic, you don't want to use too much force, you're going to break them. There. Now I should be able to drive it off easily without a hitch. Take the brake off, that might help. And just like that, she's off. So I'll go ahead and get this car checked in and everything. And I mean, I guess it ain't costing me anything extra cutting this video. So we'll go ahead and load that car back up. Obviously, I'm gonna want to load the Ranger up on the wheel, on the bed, because it makes no sense to drag it in tandem. You know what I'm saying? So first, before I do that, let me clean all my stuff off. And look, I didn't damage the bumper or anything. She's good. She's good, she's good. So we'll get this all cleaned up. I brought that Ford over there last week. He got hit by a deer, still sitting there. Those are my GTLBs. I didn't have to bust those out on this occasion. Very rarely do I bust them out because usually I can do everything with just a couple 2x6s or 2x10s. So I'm not even gonna mess around jump starting that Ford. I'm just gonna back right on up to it. I don't gotta put the bed all the way down either. It's gonna run more time, so I'll just kind of leave it out a little bit, just as long as it's not hitting the ground. Bam, backed right on up to it. And now I just saved myself at least an hour. That's an extra hour that I saved, that I can go do another lockout or go do the car wash or truck wash or just go home and relax or take another call. So, you know, a big part of towing and roadside is time management, you know, and stuff like that. So what I'll do here is go ahead, free spool it up, free spool it down, free spool it up, free spool it down. I'm trying to come up with a tow dance, so if you guys got any ideas, let me know. I got some ideas. And if that don't work, then YouTube is broken. Pretty sure it's just the battery that's what's wrong with this truck. And then you guys always ask me, where do I put the hooks? Well, I'm about to show you, because you guys always ask me. This is like a really asked question a lot. So as you can see on this Ranger, I stuck it right up in there, and look at all those different holes you can take advantage of if you can fit it. There's another one right there that uses your other slot. That's on here. And on the chains I got some different ones, and on the cluster straps I got some different ones that kind of look like T's and they go into the slots down there. So there you go. If you're curious, I just answered your question, Mr. Person that asked me where do I put the chains. Well, you put them in right there in that spot underneath. To me, that's the most ideal spot. So just go in just like that, and kapowie. Actually, that's the wrong one. Stupid me. There you go. So let's get some tension on the line. Let's get it going. I want to go hang out and do some stuff today. I've been working too much. Okay, so now that all set here. Put this beast in neutral. And we home free, baby. One, two, three, neutral. And now the next place I gotta go is only like 10 minutes from here, as opposed to I would have had to drive another 30 minutes back just to grab this one. So probably saved over an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this loaded. If you guys want me to show you where to strap it down at, I'm gonna use my long cluster straps, and then I'm gonna hook it in. Let me see where's there a good hook spot? Right there is a good hook spot right there, where I would go with that. There's a couple of them there. You can always use your big J's right around the control arm right there into the slots of the actual bed, which is right there. And if you don't know what a J hook chain is, I keep one in each box right there. That's what your big J looks like right there. So I gotta get going, gotta make some money. Okay, so now that I got that 2x6 wedged up in there, it's actually holding the brake pedal. And I'm gonna take always the far chain off first. So that way, if this Ranger goes flying, then I'll have another chain on there, because then I could jump in it really quick. But I mean, the brake's on, it's just sliding on the bed because it's so slick. But if it were to get in contact with the concrete, it's in park, it would most definitely stop. So I'll go ahead, take my other chain off, and then we're gonna roll this baby right into the spot where it's gonna sit. So got my foot here on the brake. And I gotta do this with one hand. So we're gonna wild rodeo this baby. So we got 3 clicks down. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's see if I could just wild rodeo this thing right into the spot. So, wha-bam! Come on, baby. Yeah, boy! And I got it just like that. So, not as bad as it looks. It's actually pretty easy to do that. And look at the little angle that I made coming down all the way from here. And she rolled like butter. So I'm gonna go ahead, it's Saturday, and probably call it an early day today, because I've been working so much lately. I gotta take a little bit of time off for myself and for my sanity. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I hope my videos help. As always, everyone, this is Oz, Tow Trucks, Cars, and Energy Drinks, out.